What is going on, internet? Xiagax here. Today we have a new blog post from Hytale talking about Blockbench and how to make models for Hytale. So if you've been following Hytale for any length of time, you know that you'll be able to make your own buildings, obviously in game, as well as being able to import models, whether that be a structure or a character. But you'll also be able to build your own characters in Blockbench. Today's blog post is brought by the art director Thomas Frick, who goes on to say, Hytale is a vast game containing many universes and themes. You can be visiting Orbis, end up in minigames, shooting aliens, or riding dinosaurs in a prehistoric world. No matter what you see in game, we aim at building a consistent and emblematic art style across all game modes and media we craft, such as concept art, UI, modeling, animation, VFX, and level design. And a lot of the thought has been put into it. We want players to feel like what they're experiencing is part of the universe. In any game, art direction is the glue that binds every aspect together and maintains a consistent and enjoyable immersion. It will support the game design and lore and ultimately generate player delight. So this is actually something that I've seen before in a previous game. Back on my old channel, I played Trove, and they actually did kind of this very same thing, where they have kind of an art style that they want you, the player, to follow if you're going to make your own character models or creatures or whatever. But ultimately, the rest is up to you. Thomas also goes on to basically describe that Hytale was born of a combination of influencing, basically trying to get somewhere between pixel art and hand-painted animation, which, yeah, that makes sense. That's about what I see when I look at the game. So after hearing about their art theory, Hypixel also lets us know about the Blockbench program that they have and the Hypixel Blockbench plugin. If you actually want to go ahead and get your hands on this, you can download this right now. The link will be in the description. But just to further go into detail, they have geometry constraints where they're talking about that they have two primitives, the cube and the quads. The cubes will have 6 sides to a shape, and the quads will have 2, basically a flat cube. No edge, loops, no special topology, no triangles, pyramids, or any other functions of more traditional modeling styles. This ensures all models are easy to make, unwrap, and animate, and we don't require weight painting, rigging, or 3D art degree to get started. Well, that's good, because I don't have a 3D art degree, but I do have a CIS degree. Does that count, Hypixel? The Blockbench plugin will help you keep everything simple. Furthermore, the character bodies are far from realistic. They're small, bulky, and cartoony. This supports the cartoony, chunky style used in every other element of the game. Similarly, blocks and furniture are toy-like and have a pure iconic shapes. So with this image here, we can actually get a good look at what they're talking about. This table that they have on the left is a bit, yeah, it's pretty chunky, it's bulky, it generally gives an idea of something that comes straight out of the toy box. And the character model on the right shows that we don't want it too realistic, otherwise it looks a little bit I would say even with realistic proportion, it looks pretty unrealistic and also kind of uncanny if you were to ask me. Further down, when creating characters, we carefully name each node to make it compatible with our animation system. As soon as the bones are properly named, they will be animated in-game. Makes sense. That's basically how some basic programming works. You have to basically connect a library or a class to a function, and that way you can pass code through it. That's basically what the animation software does. Basically, as long as you name things correctly, they connect and they do what they're supposed to do. Oh, and don't forget no spheres. Like, dear God, what is that? Oh my God, please. Hypixel, please never show me this again. This is terrifying. Moving on, Thomas then goes on to say, how many triangles do I put in my model? We work as simply as possible, then slightly increase the geometry and polygon count when needed to improve the silhouette. This is actually a design philosophy that I was actually taught when I was learning how to build websites. Generally, you want to keep things as simple as possible. If you wanted to add more on later, that you certainly can, but generally you want the basic functionality to be something that can just be loaded up instantly. In fact, not only that, that's also what Thomas says later. He says, this isn't only a stylistic choice, it's also for performance reasons. In many scenes, Hytale renders several thousand blocks and voxels simultaneously, resulting in several million triangles per frame. Triangles are a major contributor to frame rate loss. Yeah, you don't want to be losing those frames, especially all you PC nerds out there who need at least 60 FPS plus. Thomas also answers the question, which size should my textures be? Which all of the textures should be in multiples of 32, so basically 32, 64, 96, 128, and so on and so forth. In which then he also lists some guidelines depending upon what you want to create. Blocks and characters, texture, textile density ranges from simple to double, and the engine will automatically scale characters and attachments down to match the world size. So when modeling, you're presented with two options: make a character / attachment, or make a prop / block. Characters and attachments will be 64 pixels per unit, while props and blocks will be 32. If anyone can make sense of that, I'm not exactly a voxel expert here, but I get the general idea. Basically, the characters will have a few more pixels to them than the props and blocks. So yeah, if you can find a better way to explain it to me, go ahead and leave a comment down below and I'll go ahead and give you my love and appreciation. Next up, this is where we get to channel our inner Bob Ross, in which Thomas tells us, which brush should I use to paint my textures? And it's a question they actually get quite often, but for texturing for Hytale, and Hytale actually doesn't require many special brushes to get started. Using any painting software like Photoshop, hey, I have that. Or you could also use GIMP, Clip Studio, Affinity, Krita, or Blockbench, or Procreate to do the job. And then he shows us a couple of techniques that we can use to make some of our blocks. And then further down the post, Thomas lets us know how do we pick good colors and how to shade that. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys read on your own. I think this is actually a really good read. It actually gives you a little bit of insight of perhaps a little bit of color theory and modeling. Something that I kind of learned a little bit when I was in college. But otherwise, yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to getting into Blockbench. Actually, well, as soon as I'm done with this video here, I'm probably going to be testing it out a little bit because, man, does it look like it's going to be quite a bit of fun to be able to make not only your own blocks but also your own items as well. So if I can actually speak from personal experience, like I said, I'm also a bit of an IT professional here, but I've also got a little bit of graphic design under my belt, so this is like the perfect game. I not only get to test this game out in early access to look for bugs, but I also get to look at stuff in Blockbench, as well as the rest of all you guys, and then we can also make some really interesting things that we can put in our worlds here. And then finally, Thomas leaves us a couple of videos showing us how to concept and model the Magma Golem for a Hytale. So if you want to check those videos out, those links will also be in the description down below. I'm personally going to go check those out, I think, after I'm done with Blockbench a little bit, maybe because I kind of want to play around with that. But overall, these are the tools that are going to be made available to players, and I honestly really cannot wait for January 15th. This is going to be a slow 2 weeks. 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I don't remember. Time's just kind of blending together for me. So yeah, that's pretty much all for the blog post today. I'm actually looking forward to messing around with Blockbench to be a little bit more familiarized with it. And that's pretty much all I have for right about now, guys. If you like this video, be sure to leave a like in the like box. Leave a comment if you like. Be sure to subscribe for more Hytale news and commentary by yours truly. And I will see you in the next one.